Good evening. My name is Jeremy, and I'll be giving you a quick tutorial on how to use md5deep and hashdeep. Use these specifically for doing forensic work, and I found it to be a pretty handy tool for hashing large groups of files or doing comparisons of file hashes against a text file of known hashes. And the way I'm going to do this, I'm in a sample directory where I have some files loaded. I'm just going to run through a number of the commands. I'll do my best to explain them, and you'll be able to see the output on the screen. And hopefully that will be enough to give you at least a basic feel for how to use md5deep and hashdeep. So the first command we're going to execute is just a basic hash of a single file. So what you get, you have your md5 hash of the subject file, appleskull.png, and then it gives you the full path name for the file. Now in this next example, what I will do is I will hash multiple files at once, and I will use the B flag, and what that does is that asks md5deep just for the base name, and the base name just won't include the full path. I find it makes things a little bit more readable, and it also is kind of the format you'll want to use if you're creating your own file of known hashes. Most of the forensics tools out there like something in that MD5 sum type of format where you have the hash and then the name of the file. Okay, so pretty straightforward. We've got two hashes, we got two file names, so not a big deal. Now what I'm going to do for this next command, I'm going to hash 3 files, and I'm going to pipe the results into another text file, and then later I'm going to use that text file to do a comparison. The reason I'm doing it that way is just I want to show matches, and so that's the easiest way to do it, and I thought that would be helpful. Okay, and we'll just do a quick check to make sure that our file is there. There's my hash.txt, so we know it worked. Alright, so now what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and test the comparison abilities of md5 hash. So what you see on the call here, you got the md5deep command. You have the capital M flag, so what that's going to do is that's going to specify that I want it to show me both the hash and the file that the file that corresponds to a hash. And since we're using it this way, it basically uses positive matching, so it's only going to show files or it's only going to show the file names that end up matching. So and then the W flag will what that does for me is that will tell you what file I actually matched. So basically this command says show me the hash of the file that matched, the file name of the file that matched, and then the file name that I matched against. And then the star, of course, looks in the directory that I'm in. Basically it'll just check every file within this directory. It does use recursiveness, so a lot of times if you have other folders in here, then md5deep will push you an error that will just say, hey, you got directories in here. If you really want to do this, use a recursive flag, and we'll do whatever you want us to do. So here we go. We'll just hit go. Okay, so we can see we got the hash, path name of the file that the hash matches, and then it tells you it matched appleskull.png, which was in this folder as you saw before. And it goes through all 3 of those. So 3 good matches, so that's exactly what we wanted to see. So that kind of summarizes the basic gist of hashdeep, or I'm sorry, md5deep. It's pretty much just a straightforward MD5 tool, allows you to do comparisons between folders and text files. And I guess that's one thing that I didn't really clarify. So I explained the flags. You of course have to specify the name of the file that has the known hashes that you want to check against, and then then it goes to the directory, hashes each file individually, compares it to the hashes in the myhash.txt file, and outputs the results. Okay, so when you load md5 hash, you also get hashdeep. Hashdeep is another hashing tool. Gives you just a bit more information, has a couple additional cool capabilities. Most of the syntax is the same, so you will find that other than a few small gotchas, you'll be able to transition between the two tools very easily. So what I'm going to do here, we got the hashdeep command, we got the B flag saying I just want the base name of each of these files, and then I've listed 3 files here. And I'll explain what we see once we get the output. So the output has a number of different lines. It tells you the version of hashdeep you're using, and then it's going to tell you the format of each line that's going to be output by hashdeep. So first it's going to tell you the size of the file, it's going to give you the md5 hash, the SHA-256 hash, and the file name itself. And you can actually change which hashes are used by hashdeep. So if I want to do md5 SHA-1 and SHA-256, or change the order of them up, you can go ahead and specify that. I'm not going to go through a demo on how to do that here, so just reference the man pages. Alright, now it tells you exactly where you invoked the call from, so pretty straightforward, and then it echoes the call that you made so that you can see if you made any mistakes or specified something you shouldn't have. And then we got the output. So again, straightforward, nothing too complicated. Okay, now I'm going to do a call similar to what I did in the md5deep demo. I'm going to output a few of these hash values into a text file for use so that I can demonstrate the matching. And we'll just verify that our file showed up, my hash2.txt. Great. And one thing to note, if you are creating if you want to match a bunch of files in a directory against a known hash, a known list of hashes, and you're using hashdeep, the file with the known list of hashes has to match the format of hashdeep itself. So I find the easiest way to do that is to create the file in the first place with hashdeep. Okay, so this is our command where we're going to go ahead and compare the hashes of each file in this directory against the hashes on my known hash list, which is my hash2.txt. Flags are very similar. So the -m tells it I want to do matching, show me the hash and the file name that corresponds to the hash. The W tells me that I want to know what file I'm actually matching. And then for hashdeep, you have to specify a -k flag and the name of the known list of hashes. So -k, my hash2.txt. And then star, of course, means I want to look at every file in the directory. Okay, so again, very straightforward. Okay, so for this next demo, basically one thing that hashdeep does that's pretty cool that the other, well, basically the md5deep does not do is it allows you to do this auditing function. And basically what auditing is going to do is it'll create a hash of all the files in the directory and a hash of the directory, and then you can audit that directory with a command. And basically what it'll check for is if any files have been added, removed, changed, or otherwise manipulated. So it's just a quick way to check the integrity of a specific directory. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to go ahead and back out of this directory, out of the cat evidence directory, and the reason I want to do that, is because Mac OS X tends to touch files that are, if you're in a specific directory, it's constantly manipulating the files. And so when I did these commands and then tried to do the audit, I was constantly failing the audit because it was touching the files, and so they were registering changes, and then the audit would fail. All right, so I'm going to also demonstrate recursion here. So hashdeep -r says hash this directory, and the r, and then hash everything in the directory. Then I specify the directory and my new text file that I want to match against. Okay, should have worked. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually execute an audit. So the R says, since we're looking in a directory, we have to specify recursion. The A says we want to do an audit. V means I want it to be verbose, so tell me a bunch of information about why my audit passed or why my audit failed. K flag is the same, so then I specify my list of known hashes and then the directory that I want to check inside. So it says the audit passed, matched all 14 files, so nothing has changed. And then you can see it shows, if files are partially matched, moved, added, or if a file was taken away. So pretty handy little tool. And really that concludes the demo. I know it's pretty basic, but I did find that there's just not a lot of good hashing tools out there that do bulk comparisons like this. This was the best one I found for Mac OS X. Windows has a few additional pre-built tools, but I didn't find them as user-friendly as just using this on the command line. So my recommendation is, you go ahead and install this. If you're on Mac OS X, you can install it with Homebrew, which is a package manager. If you're using it on Windows, it comes with, as a .exe file, and so then you just have to navigate to the directory, run the exe file, and all the flags, and you're good to go. So appreciate you listening. Please let me know if you have any questions, and take care.